Hey, hey, folks, it's your girl, Lady Red, checking in. And you know what day it is. Woman Crush Wednesday. Loving the skin that I'm in. Loving myself for myself, by myself. Definitely. Hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to check in with you, of course, it's Wednesday, so I wanted to show my pretty face. But also, I do have some food for thought for you today. And the thought that came to my mind is change. 2016, as I mentioned in a previous video, is a year that I have used to reflect on just my life and past decisions and things that have happened in my life in order to bring about some changes and be a better person on the inside and out. A lot of times, as people, we are resistant to change. Excuse me. A lot of us don't feel like we want to make changes, and sometimes we just don't feel like change is scary. So we don't know how to relate to it. And God, a lot of times, allows us to be in certain situations or cycles to repeat itself until we learn a valuable lesson and start to make the changes in our lives. If we don't make changes in our lives, we do become stagnant. And sometimes not making a change in our life could make us lose out on a great opportunity, a great friendship, a great relationship. You know, the love of your life could be right in front of your face, and certain things that you know that you do on a regular basis and you're not willing to change could definitely ruin the situation. One thing that I can say about, some people is, even myself at times, is the things that come out of our mouth a lot of times can, do a lot of damage. And me as a person, I always try to think about the things that I say before I say it to people. But sometimes, because of the fact that I'm so direct and honest, it comes off as being, I would say maybe not compassionate and hurtful to another person. And that's something that I've been trying to evaluate, within myself, and make changes with that. The things that you say out your mouth could really damage a great situation. You just, some of us we've been doing it for so long, just saying whatever out of our mouths. And, to us, it's fine. So you don't feel like there's no need to change that. But the words are damaging. Even if the person says that they forgive you, they don't forget what you say. And those words eventually, people get tired and they just decide, you know what, I don't have to deal with that person anymore. And they decide to move on. I know there was a particular situation that an ex of mine that I used to deal with, speaking on the subject of change, moving past, the things that come out of my mouth. But, we were dealing with each other for about 6 years on and off. And I said to him one time, we were having a conversation, and I said, did you ever really love me? It just seemed like all the things that he did, the cheating, the lying, and, things like that. I just really, reflected upon that. And I'm like, did you ever really even care? And what he said to me was, you allowed it. And I couldn't even be mad at that factor, because that was the truth. Certain things in your life, if you allow it to happen, that's what's going to happen. A quote by Maya Angelou. I love Maya Angelou, but a quote that she stated, and sometimes I even see it on Facebook a lot. She stated that when a person shows you who they are, to believe them the first time. And that's definitely important. It's not to say that a person can't make changes, but a lot of times they will show you, signs will be there, and they will show you who they are. And when they do show you who they are, you definitely have to believe them. As a woman, I try to grow and do better every day. I definitely am my worst critic. So a lot of times, before someone even, criticizes me about something, I didn't already thought about that, inside and out. And I'm, evaluating that and how to do things in a better way. I know one thing that I do as well is I can be very quick to anger. I can go from 0 to 100 real quick if I feel like, someone has offended me, or if they've done something that I really feel like is wrong. And I had to sit back and evaluate that within myself and pray about that and ask God to help me to be a better person and be slow to anger, because a lot of times people, when they already know you and they know certain things, they can say certain things and do certain things, and it will get the reaction that they're looking for. They will do that, and they will, wait for you to react in a certain way. And when you react in the way that they're already looking for, that gives them the satisfaction. So you want to turn that around and say, you know what? I'm not even going to react in that way. I'm going to, give them the opposite of what they're looking for. And see, they don't know how to react to that because they're so used to you always reacting in a negative way. So, like I said, as a person, I'm trying to grow. And when I have knowledge to share, I like to give that knowledge to you as well. Change is not an easy thing, but it definitely is necessary if you want to be a better person, if you want to maintain friendships, if you want to have a relationship with someone, and there are certain things about yourself that you need to change. You need to start evaluating that and start working on that now. As I stated before, in a given situation, we all have to evaluate our role. And you have to be willing to accept the factor of the things that you've done wrong and try to change that. If you want something different in your life, you have to try to be something different. You can't expect to gain something different when you have the same ways and you're just still doing the same thing. If you're a cheater, and you always out there cheating because you can get over with it, and then you get a woman or a man in your life that does the same thing to you, disrespects you, doesn't treat you properly, and you've done everything possible to try to be there for this person. You have to evaluate the person that you are and the things that you do as well. What goes around comes around. So, the things that you've done in your life to people, it always comes back to you on one way or another. You may be thinking you're getting over with it, and you're taking advantage of this person and thinking they're going to always be around. They're never going to leave. And sometimes they may just, settle and decide to accept the fact that this is what it is with you and continuously deal with it. But in one way or another, God sees all, and karma is a bitch. If whatever you put out there on this earth, it definitely is going to come back to you in one way or another. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. If things in your life are not going the way that you would like them to go, it's never too late to try to make changes. I mean, I've seen rock bottom, so I know how it feels to be at the bottom. So now I have a better understanding. I can be compassionate and empathetic with a person that's struggling. I have a person in my life that very intelligent, but really doesn't know how to relate to other people, can be very cold, not compassionate, not empathetic, because they don't know how to relate to certain situations because they may not have experienced this particular situation. They don't feel like, certain things in their life that they need to change. And they're quick to make judgment or tell other people the things that they're doing wrong, not taking accountability for the things that they may do wrong as well. It's not that they don't know. I believe that they do know that there are certain things in their life that they need to make changes to as well. But I just continuously pray for them that they will, realize the error of their ways, and they can also make changes as well within their life. And if you need to make change and that you're finding yourself having a hard time making changes, go to the floor and pray about it. Sometimes it takes a long time. And I mean, I've been struggling in different areas in my life, especially financially, trying to get myself together or whatever. And sometimes it just feels like, you're praying and God doesn't hear you, but he's always there. His ways are greater than our ways and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So we definitely have to keep that in mind, and even in hard times, you can bend, but never, never, never break. So with that being said, I just wanted to leave you with this food for thought. I hope everyone has a great evening. Poetry coming up within the next couple days. Talk to you soon. Peace.